What's going on, world? It's Mr. Dreams to Reality. Coach Ford here. I got my Dreams to Reality hat on. Ordered the wrong size. So, in shirt, or so I was going to rock my Dreams to Reality shirt. But it's all good. Life is good. Life is amazing. I'm happy to have you on today. Working on my speech. Practice. What I'm doing is practice. But today, what I'm bringing you in, or what I'm drawing you into, is what is Mr. Dreams to Reality? What is the creation of the movement? What is the creation of what I am doing? Whew, that is a loaded question. I get that asked often. What do I do? And it's really hard to explain how my mind works, unless you go and read the case studies, unless you go and read the entrepreneur's journey, unless you go and read uh, a lot of books. One by Ryan Moran, Darren Hardy, a long list of guys that outline and describe what it's like to be an entrepreneur, what it's like to be in the mind of an entrepreneur, what it's like to be in the mind of somebody that says, I can make a change in the world and then go out and do those things. And so for me, what's really prevalent about uh, being Mr. Dreams to Reality, Coach Ford, is that I don't want to do this. Truthfully, I don't want to be on the camera. I don't want to be open. I don't want to do these things. And it's truthful. And the truth is, I'd rather be left alone at home playing Call of Duty. And because of that, that's what my greatest strength is to be able to push through what I truly want to do and what has to be done, what God is calling me to do. And so the creation of FordX, I created FordX LLC in 2018, and the first aspect of the company that I wanted to do was sports management, with an emphasis on sports management, focused on sports management and sports leagues, sports teams, which, fast forward 7 years later, and that's what I'm doing. And so I get emotional about this topic because dreams do come to reality. Preference, right? Preference on this, let me preface in this way. It's prefaced on the fact that you're willing to commit your entire existence and being to following the vision and path, right? So for me, I love coaching, and I still do that. I still get an opportunity to coach every day. I still get an opportunity to go to my job, but with the change in society and the change with how the world has moved in terms of online technology. I mean, think about when this iPhone first came out in 2008 to now, and what we're allowed to do on the internet. You still work your jobs and have your jobs. For me, I'm an entrepreneur, so I look at the online movement as something I should have been a part of. And if you go look at my YouTube, Coach Ford Speaks, which you're on, you go look at my JDVO uh, videos and content that I started years ago, but I didn't have anything to say. I didn't have much to say. I just knew I needed to be on the camera talking. But life happens, life gets busy, and things change, right? So that would have been 6, 7 years ago. I would have been 23, 24. No, 25. And here I am at the ripe age of 32, blessed and fortunate, and understanding. I didn't know where I was going. I wanted to go somewhere. There was a pull in my heart for the things that I wanted to do. There was a pull in my heart to be an entrepreneur, to be a business owner, and not because I heard other people talk about it. And this is, whew, I'm about to give you guys a lot of behind the scenes. I wanted to be a business owner, an entrepreneur, and I didn't know what an entrepreneur was back in 2013. You can ask my big brother, Lemmy Williams. He was my manager at a restaurant, and because he was my manager at a restaurant, we had a connection. I was at Minaret College for a little bit. And so there's a lot more to it. And I didn't even understand business. I didn't understand entrepreneurship. I understand working a job. I understand working hard. I understand when I got fired as an 18-year-old, not having a clue. I understand what it's like being a 19, 20, 21-year-old dad. I know what that's like. Um, I know what it's like being a 20-year-old having to figure it out. Now, having kids forces you to mature a lot faster. right? So, I feel the young people who don't necessarily have, they're trying to figure it out. And, when you get grounded and rooted with kids, it ages you faster. And so it changes your mind. You have to operate on a different frequency than what you did when you were as a teenager. And then maybe differently as a person that's 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and so on, that doesn't have kids or a family that you have to take care of and you have to provide for. And so my journey was long. And so bringing it here to, so I've always been in basketball, right? So I've been in the basketball industry all my almost my entire existence. I would say since fourth grade when I started playing basketball back in my hometown of Annapolis, Missouri. Shout out to my hometown and the wonderful folks back in my hometown. I love them. I love the school community. I love what they did for me, and I just love it. And most thankful, I'm grateful for my grandmother who took me down there, and me and my sister and anyways, so that's another story for another time. So we fast forward to the creation of FordX LLC, and I honestly don't know what prompted the creation of FordX, the name. Let's just say God-given insights into what it could be in the future. And I didn't know, right? As a young lad, I'll say young lad, right? As a young guy, I just knew I wanted to run my own company. I knew I wanted to be in business for myself. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I also knew I wanted to coach basketball. And at the time, I just didn't know how to do the thing, right? I didn't know how to be a business owner. I didn't know how to operate as an entrepreneur. And life is life is grand. Life is beautiful, and life is grand. And it's one of those things that you just have to roll with the punches. You just have to say, okay, here's where we're going. Here is uh, what we're getting figured out, and understanding that it takes time. It takes understanding. And I was super impatient. And as I get older, I learned that I have to be more patient. I learned that I have to be more focused on what I'm doing, and I'm more refined. I know exactly what I'm doing. So when I say, hey, uh, it's a totally different setup now than it was, when I first started in 2013. That's a short window of time, right? So in that 11 years, technology has taken off. The information has taken off. The understanding has taken off. For me, focusing on being a global brand and not just, uh, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, but not just stuck on, well, this is where I live at. This is going to be the end all be all. This is going to be um, the rest of my existence. And it's not. And so when I think of FordX LLC, I think of it as a global brand. I think of it as a major component in terms of third party sports. And I know there's tons of third party sports, but being an entrepreneur, I see a gap in the industry. I see a gap in how sports should be ran. I've been in sports my entire life. And so Steve Jobs said it best. Really, the people who change the industry are the thinkers and the doers, right? So not only do I coach, I think about some of the impact and effects that youth sports has. I think about some of the impact that um, coaches have and referees have. But all that prompted and built up into the next phase, which was start coach high school basketball, and I developed using the line, which every coach says this, so it's not just common to me. Just do your job, and I developed a book, and so all these things started just happening as I started formulating the departments within this conglomerate or this sports company, right? So really, I'm a sports company. I'm a coaching company. At the core, what I do is coaching, and so I coach individuals on how to become the best they can be. And what is coaching? What does that mean? I help them develop skills to be the best they can be. Well, I still don't understand it. Think this way: confidence. I help people develop confidence, right? And help people make quicker decisions. I help people understand that the life that they want to live is doable. I think oftentimes uh, We get stuck on the life that's given to us by default because we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we want. And then we struggle. And then we say, well, I think I want to do this. I want to do that. And then I have conversations with 20 something year olds all the time. And they're like, well, my family says this. Well, my family said that. My family believes this. My family believes that. And I'm like, well, what do you want to do? Right? What is your focus for your life? And, oftentimes they really don't know what they want to do. And then they struggle. And then when I get to them, they're wondering like, well, what about this? What about that? And I'm thinking to myself, dude, you're going to figure it out, right? Dude, you're going to figure it out. Relax. And so it's difficult for the young people. So I feel them. I feel them on their frustration. I feel them on uh, not really understanding how their life is going to turn out. You guys see this shadow is bad. But anyways, like that, trying to figure out the lighting situation. Because my whiteboard was really dark. And now I got 3 lighted spots. That's fine. Anyways, so that's the creation of FordX LLC, right? It just started off as a brainchild for me. I didn't know what I was doing. It's really a sports company. It's a sports company that has a media department. That's it. We make content. We make great content. We have podcasts. All that falls under the media, the books, the website. All that falls under the media, right? And I started crafting and developing these ideas as I got older in terms of what does this look like? Um, what does FordX look like in terms of the things that I wanted to do? And so I'm not going to stunt. I got discouraged a little bit on my journey because I was sharing my ideas with people who didn't understand it. I was sharing my ideas with people who couldn't comprehend my vision that God had given me and for my life. And it took some time for me to cultivate my abilities. It took some time to cultivate who I'm going to be as an individual. I mean, it's taken some time now for me to really uh, get comfortable in my own skin now because it's counterintuitive to what some people believe, right? What most people perceive. So, like when I say, hey, I'm getting on YouTube and I'm turning on the camera, right? And most people are nervous and scared when they look at YouTube. It's like stage fright for them. And so I have to coach in front of hundreds of people every year live, right? So getting on a camera and speaking is nothing, right? Imagine trying to command the attention of teenagers and asking them, perform, right? And that's that's pressure, right? That's pressure having somebody else's child's future in your hands and helping them become the best that they can be, right? That's pressure. Getting on a camera is not pressure. Doing this YouTube content creation is not pressure. There's real pressure in the world. There's real situations. There's real struggles. There's people really needing assistance out here. There's really people needing a beacon of light. See all 3 of these lights? They're lighting up the room. People need that. People need the light. People need belief that they can do it. People need these things, and they want it, and they crave it, and they crave that people to shine their light is the easiest way to put it. Shine your light. And so, Mr. Dreams Reality, it started off as, I hear people's comments, I hear their energy, and you say, well, I didn't say it in front of you. For the people who are listening to this and wondering, I know you didn't. I can feel it. I feel it in the energy when you're around. I feel it in the energy online, and you're like, well, you can't read. No, you can read people's energy. You can't tell how people feel because um, of how they operate in terms of their behaviors. And so I'm real comfortable in my skin. I'm real comfortable, and I don't really care what people say, think, or do. They're free to do what they do. Just to impose your limitations on me is my only pushback and my only challenge. Don't sit up here and tell me what is not possible when I'm reading in all the books is possible. I'm watching online. I'm studying all the case studies. I'm studying all the different people. And you're going to tell me, no, you're telling me it's not possible for me. One, because you don't believe in yourself. Two, you don't believe that it's capable and possible for me to do it because you've never seen somebody do it that you know, right? You've never seen somebody say, hey, this is my vision and truly move forward with it. So for me, I'm moving forward with my vision. I'm moving forward with the things that I said I'm going to do. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful aspect in life to be in charge of yourself. I'm not in charge of nobody else. I don't lord over anybody. I'm not boss of anybody. I'm just being me. And if me being me is a reason for people not to like what I'm talking about, and for people not to like me, then fine. My head is going to stay the same. Mr. Dreams to reality. And this dreams to reality is not for me, right? This is for somebody else that says, man, I always wanted to do this. And I said, well, why aren't you doing it? It's not possible for me. Why is it not possible for me? Well, I'm not as gifted as you. You're looking at me. You are gifted. Look into your inventory. What are the things you're really good at? I grew up love watching movies. I love the actors. I love the way they could make you feel. I love the way they could craft a story and put the story together. I love the scripts. And life is great. Life is beautiful. And so my focus really is to wake up and make an impact on the world with my voice and with the content. I don't want anything from anybody. If you buy a shirt, if you buy a hat, if you buy a stadium chair, thank you. My family appreciate it. I appreciate it. But I'm not online soliciting you to buy anything. If you feel led to go to my site, www.coachfordx.com, and purchase, thank you. If you don't feel led to do that, that's fine too. If you love what I'm talking about and you love it, great. Um, but that's not what I'm doing this for. Well, I'm an entrepreneur. What I'm doing is it's a race and a competition versus myself. It's a race and competition versus myself of who I am as an individual to prove to myself that I can do this. Now, if you believe in yourself enough, anything is possible. So if you take this information and you apply it to your situation, kudos to you. I'm not here to force you to do anything. I'm not here to press upon you my belief system, right? My belief system that all things are possible. I've been instructed that in the gospel. The gospel tells me that. The Bible tells me that. God has told me that in his word. In the gospel, Jesus told us that in his word. So if you don't believe in that promise, I cannot help you. And if you're a Christian and you don't believe in God's promises and the belief, then that's between you and God. And if you're a believer of God, fine. That's you guys' thing. Whatever you believe. I'm not here to preach a sermon to you and what you believe. And cut it off. If you got a problem with it, cut it off. If you don't like what I just said, cut it off. Don't listen to it. I'm not here to push anything on you. And I get passionate about this component here because people will get mad and frustrated. And bro, I'm chilling over here. I'm like, bro, I could be playing Call of Duty, reading books, left to myself. I could be left alone. But I choose to get on here and pour positivity in the world. I choose to be an impact. I'll tell you, I have multiple missions. And I listen to people. I listened to Gary Vaynerchuk the other day. He goes, I got 20,000 things that I want to do. That's just being an entrepreneur. But the world of people who are not accustomed to this will tell me, well, you should just focus on one thing. And I was told that. One of my buddies, love him, great guy, but he's a limited thinking type of person. And he makes tons of money. He's made a ton of money. And I'm not reached a level of success in terms of monetary that he has. But I live a great life. And he's an awesome guy. I have conversations with him all the time. We talk it out. We hash it out. Like, no, I don't believe in that. Like, you're not going to make me change my belief system to how you believe. And so I don't deal in those realities. And so you may deal in those realities. I don't deal in those realities. Like, this is going to happen. And I got a vision. I have a major vision for FordX. Like, massive stadium vision. Like, and I'm not going to share it here. but I have a major, massive vision for FordX Sports, especially for FordX Sports Management, especially. It started off as a sports company. I love data. I love reading the data. And I love reading the information. I love that stuff. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to see where the company goes. I'm excited to see what FordX Media does. Like, this whole point of this podcast, it's a portfolio of FordX Media. It's a portfolio. So I'm creating the portfolio for what the future blueprint of the company will be. Most people cannot fathom that because it's not their vision. It's not for you. It's not for you. I'm sorry, it's not. Okay, so here's some of my missions. So for the FordX Sports side, you hear me very plainly, is to empower generations of athletes through the power of mentorship and to push them to excellence on and off the court. In this case, sports, playing field. Push them to excellence on and off the playing field, because this means all areas: the football field, the pitch, the baseball field, the softball, the basketball, the lacrosse, whatever. Don't matter to me. All athletes, mental training stems from all the same stuff. Mental training doesn't go away. Okay, and that's for the FordX basketball, FordX sports stuff. So you can go to that YouTube, FordX basketball, for the athletes stuff. Okay. This is my real talk. Okay, this is my real talk show. And so this is my real talk show. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. Okay. I'm not here to press upon my beliefs. I'm here to find the people. I'm here to serve the people. I'm here to serve the people. That's the first thing I'm going to say. I'm here to serve the people I'm here that's meant to serve. I'm not here to serve you if I'm not meant to serve you. And I'm not here to please you because you're not who I'm meant to please. I am here to please God. That's it. I'm not here to please man. I'm here to please God and serve people. And that doesn't mean serving people doesn't mean please people. That's not what that means. Please God means to do things that makes God happy in His sight, not what in sight of man. Just so we're clear. Just so we're clear. I'm not here to please man. I'm not here to please you in the sight of man. It doesn't say that. The word doesn't say that. I'm here to please inside of God. And I pray that God gives me the wisdom to do these things. I'm not here to please man. I just want you to know I'm here to serve you. Give you the best of my ability. But you don't boss me. You don't lord me. You don't control me. That's God's job. That's only God. That's only God. God is the ruler. Okay, if you don't like it, I know what to say. Okay, so I'm just being honest. I'm just here to tell you the truth. Okay, so I'm not here to argue with nobody. You don't like it, you don't like it. And most people don't listen to the videos anyway. So that's fine too. But you're not here to lord over me. That's God's job. We're to work together. We're to serve each other. Whatever you need. And you tell me what to do. I'm not a good person to try to boss around. I'm not good at that. I've never been, you boss me around and tell me what you think I should be doing. But that's just not my personality. I just won't accept it. It makes my skin crawl. When God tells me to do things, I yield to God. That's it. Okay. Anyways, so that's the creation. And I'm going to redo this video. I'm going to redo and I'm going to recraft the video. And here's why. It's important to redo and recraft things. It's important to take content and rewash it and redo it and make it better. And so I listen to others. I listen to other content creators. I listen to other people speak. I listen to their YouTubes. I listen to their TikToks. I listen to their Instagrams. I watch all those things. Why? Because I want to improve at my craft. I want to be better at my craft. I want to be better at speaking. I want to be better at my speech. I'm in the game now. I'm in the league, right? And you're probably thinking there's tons of people. Like, there's really not. There's 8 billion people in the world. There's not 1 billion people really in the league of content creation, right? There's not really a lot of people in the league of doing these things, right? And I track a lot of different people. I mean, I track tons of heavy hitters. And then there's people who are making their money and they don't want to be front center. That's great. But I know what economic era we're in. And we're in an economic era that you turn your camera on, post on YouTube, post on Facebook, post on Instagram, and make tons of money. And then go live the life you want to live. I'm going to tell you, it's a great side hustle to me. It's a great side hustle. It's a great business. It's a great side hustle business. And I listen to a lot of different speakers. I do. I don't get engaged in activities that's not good. right? I'm not interested in engaging in activities that's not going to progress the future plans in my company. I'm just not. I'm just not. Just so we're all clear. And so I know what my company's about. We do data, we do sports, we do content. FordX, sports, data, content. FordX, sports, data, content. Sports, data, content. Sports, data, content. And coaching. If you want to be that literal. Sports data content. Sports data content. FordX, sports data content. That's it. Why are you going to do that? Don't worry about how I'm going to do that. It's who's going to do that. It's different departments. God, people are so limited thinking. So if you never built a company, it's hard for you because you're trying to understand it from a person who works for somebody else, and you work for the people who think like me, right? So there's that. You would work in the job, right? Your job would be create content. Your job would be go get us generate some reports or read some reports or something like that. Okay, or push some numbers, right? That's what a job would do. Okay, and so yeah, it's cool, man. But anyways, that is the creation story of FordX LLC. And so I'll probably have to redo this. I will redo this because there's a lot more to the story. But just know it's possible for you. Know that your dreams are possible. Know that Mr. Dreams to Reality is rooting you on. I'm rooting for you. It's possible for you. I know it's possible for you, and I can't wait to see you win. Have a great day.